Hello everybody, today I would like to share some of the comments that I've gotten over, well, a longer period of time. And this is more because at some point it may become pretty hard for me to just answer your comments as per individual as I'm doing now. And then I would have to just compile a lot of the questions that get asked a lot. And then, you know, just make a video like this. And then I would like to practice a bit for it and just see what you guys think about how I have planned to do them at least. I hope everybody will enjoy it. So here we go. So a question I get often is, it's like, what's my HUD? It's actually a custom-made HUD, and I've been salvaging various of other HUDs for parts that I liked. And that's just every time I see something from a HUD element that I like, I'm just taking that out of the HUD and then adding it to my own. So it's a bit like a collection project, if you get it, a bit like how I collect unusuals and such and other things. It's just then I'm taking the parts that I like and then adding them to my collection, and I find that a bit funny. But now everybody knows what my HUD is, but it may become available at some point when I feel like it, honestly. So yeah. This is another question that I actually get often, and that is if I'm Danish. And yes, I'm Danish, so this is terrible. Truly gonna upvote with you. To be honest, even comp players play the game terrible, and so does aimbots. The only way to truly be a good player is to be super good and never miss any shots. First of all, your mic is terrible. Your gameplay, how many hours do you have in that game? And you're just probably a little rich Chinese kid to buy unusuals and has no skill in game. Somebody had a bad day. Anyways, you would be able to hear if I were Chinese or a kid. I'm actually Danish, as you can hear by the accent. That sounds like my face is stuffed with potatoes. Next up, I'm not a rich kid. I'm a sad adult who spent all his spare money on the virtual game, and I spent about 4,000 hours in TF2 and still suck at the game because I refuse to main soldier and demo, as they're pretty much the only good classes in this game. And another thing, my mic isn't terrible, it's just my voice that is. Also lastly, learn to fucking insult, because I just stated you my facts and they are more insulting than the shit you try to make up. So some of these comments may lack a bit of context, so I'll give it. This is in terms of unusualification video, I think, so where I had kind of bad luck in a sense. And then this is the comment. Bummer, man, I hope you have good luck in trading. Thanks. And to just quickly answer that, because I mean, other than this, then I tend to have pretty good luck in trading, but I tend to have a bad luck in terms of RNG a lot of the time. But whenever it comes to actually being able to get something from another person, it's like that's more possible, and I tend to be very lucky in getting exactly what I want from other people rather than, you know, getting it with RNG. Why are you crying? You got extremely rare taunts, so shut the fuck up. I'm just gonna not read my own here. You can do if you want. I think there's a typo as well, which anyways, the thing about this is that a lot of people, this was with the unlucky unusualification, they don't get that I actually, you know, go in on the Steam community market, buy the unusualifiers for overprice, and then put them on the taunts for my viewers' amusement. And then I've gotten a lot of shit for that, because oh, I'm so ungrateful, and I'm crying and stuff like that because I didn't get the taunts that I want, even though I have like all these extremely rare taunts. But it's because I choose to, you know, spend the money for it. And I think that may be a bit important. I may have some other of these comments around too, so we'll see those. So here we have something that also I get asked quite frequently, and that is if I can explain my intro, because people don't really get what it's about. But here we go. It's supposed to symbolize my way of playing engineer. Engineers on the front line while you see the sentry covering a flank. Teammates run by on their way to the front line thinking the engineer is somewhere on the back line and what the sentry moved up. But my engineer is actually running from the front line after securing it for himself to move up the sentry. Especially since backup just arrived. So he runs back, grabs the sentry, and is about to move it up into an aggressive location as it fades. And then I get a response with the deep from another user than the original post, of course, but still think that's pretty valid, because I do get this question a lot, and I do know that there's a spelling mistake with the symbolize there. Sometimes I type a bit too fast and then I overlook that. There's probably other typos too, but I don't really care, honestly. Poor faggot didn't get what he wanted. At the very end you can see that I'm pretty okay with it. The unlucky part where I just same effect several times in a row. Gotten really happy for this bumper car especially, and I do know there's a typo again there. So don't need to say anything there. And the thing is, why aren't these people just watching the whole video? It's like, oh, he just complained. Quit video, start complaining in the comment section instead of actually just watching the end where I clear up that, yes, after a bit of thinking, I actually like this, I'm happy with this. And then the only, well, unlucky part were to actually get the same effect that I didn't want 3 times in a row. And that is pretty understandably unlucky when you have 1 in a 4 chance of only getting that effect, you know, I mean. And then, of course, it's like getting 3 of them in a row. That's like, what are the odds? Here's another question that I sometimes get, and that is if I'm rich as fuck, and then I'm not actually rich in real life. It's just, it's just I've got some spare money, and then I really appreciate Team Fortress. I really like the game, and it has given me so much fun and such. And I would like to you know, have some of the most amazing items in the game, at least what I feel like is the most amazing items, and therefore I've spent the money to get it, and it's as simple as that. Or in some cases even trading and a lot of time as well, so there's that. And yeah, this is on my recent 1000 degree knife thing, and I found it very funny, but it's flaming hat mistakes were made, as in it's a mistake to have the flaming hat on, because especially with the gas part, I guess, but even then just the knife alone should be enough to make the whole thing go boom, but still found it very funny, so I appreciate that. Here we have another one of these on my unlucky unusualification video. You're an ungrateful piece of shit. How am I ungrateful? You know I bought these things on the market for overpriced very early in the event. Also, did you see the ending? The only problem I had with these unusualification by the end were the box trot, and it's because the only effect that doesn't clip is Hellish Inferno. And it's just, again, one of these where you didn't watch the whole video. You just decided, oh, I've seen enough. I'm gonna complain about this guy being ungrateful because he's a piece of shit, and not really go to the ending where I've had some time to consider, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm actually okay with most of it. Still would have liked something else in the box trot with Purple's Wall, as I got a bunch of, but you know. Archimo's the kind of guy who complains after he gets killed, lol. Is that really gonna be a thing? Because I'm explaining that I know why I died, and this relates to every time I die pretty much. If I know what went wrong, or if I know basically, then I go over it, and I'm like, yes, I knew I fucked up here. I knew this and this and this happened, and that's why I died, and that guy just outplayed me, etc. You know, stuff like that. And I just feel like it's important for me to both tell you guys that I know what I did wasn't correct, or how I could have prevented it, and also so you can learn it yourself if you get in a similar situation, that maybe you shouldn't go for that melee kill, for example. So there's that. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I really kind of like the one where I did kind of a roast on myself, but that's just me. It's like, if you're gonna insult me, at least do it right. Don't make up some bullshit. Hit it where it hurts. Say something that's real. Say something that isn't just, made up. Like, the things I've stated, like, to be honest, they are fact. If you put it in the right way, they are fact. It's like, well, if you look at it like that, yes, if you have a very negative point of view, that's exactly true, and that's the point I tried to make with when I answered to that guy. And in general, I would say that he got kind of wrecked, because seriously, it's like, I can state facts, like, well put in a funny way or a negative way, facts about myself, and they're way worse than any of the bullshit he can make up. Anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed this, and I'll see you again next time.